This is the new 15-inch hand-poured wrecking ball worm. This is made out of floating plastic. Notice how the tail of the worm floats up at the end. This is a big difference in how this lure fishes. You get a lot of tail movement out of very small movement of the bait. If you're fishing this bait around moving water, wind, current, or boat traffic, this tail can set and move pretty much indefinitely without having to move your lure. This is the lure I use when I need a big bite. The fish are on the bottom and I need a big fish. This is the lure that I throw. I've been fishing this for several years. I've caught hundreds of fish on this wrecking ball worm. But out of all the fish I've ever caught on it, I have never caught a bass that did not keep. It seems to actually repel little fish. When I throw it in shallow enough to watch them, when you get it around a little fish, they tend to just leave. I don't know, I guess they think it's a snake and usually run from it. Which has been a really good bait for me in tournaments, because when you set the hook and come to the boat, you don't have to worry about it. For one, you don't have to worry about it being a non-keeper, but most of the time you don't have to get the measuring board out when you catch a fish on this lure. This lure fishes a little differently than most other baits that I throw due to its sheer size. Most of the fish that I catch on it that are over 4 pounds, you fish it just like you would a normal 6-inch worm. Your bites are really no different. But I've noticed that fish under 4 pounds usually bite the bait twice. And they're some of the most aggressive strikes that I've ever gotten while bass fishing. They'll hit it so hard, usually it'll shake your rod, and then they'll drop it. They'll let go of the bait. It appears that they hit it with all they got to try to kill it. And they smack it hard, and they drop it and back off and watch it. If you jerk to set the hook while he's looking at it, and once he's let go of it, you will not catch the fish. So what I've experienced with it is when you get the first really hard initial strike, I just gently take my rod and lift just enough to feel if he's on there. If he's not, I'll let the bait sit there for a minute or so and wait for him to come back and eat it. The second time they hit it, it's just like a normal bite. But once they get the bait, once they get a hold of this big soft plastic worm, they don't let go of it. So there's really no danger in short strikes. Surprisingly, on a worm this big, they always bite the head. They do not bite the tail of the worm. I think it's due more to the fact that they're trying to kill this lure. And so the bite will come on the head. I fish it on a 6/0 wide gap hook. A wide gap hook is a must with this worm because the plastic on this worm is so big. And your hook can easily slide down and fill the gap, causing you to miss the fish. But this is a lure that's done really well for me in the past. And you can see how the tail just stands straight up, much like some of the shaky head worms. But if there's any moving water, then you can just shake this and just make that bait move and play. This is unlike any other worm that I've ever used.